As you watch this, in the dry hills of southeastern Turkey, archaeologists are lifting heavy stone slabs, one by one, off the top of a buried room. The room is 12,000 years old. It was sealed by human hands, deliberately, with flat stones laid across it like a lid. Its entrance was made useless. Whoever closed this place meant it to stay closed. So the excavators are going in the only way left, from above. And here is the line from the official reports that should make you sit very still. They do not know what is inside. The room was built for a special purpose, not for living in, and it may still hold whatever was left there on the day it was sealed. This is not a legend. This is a live excavation happening now at a site called Karahan Tepe. If that name sounds familiar, it should. In our last testament, we told you about its neighbor, Göbekli Tepe, the oldest temple on earth, buried on purpose by its own children. And we ended with a warning. The hills around it are full of its sisters, and they are coming out now. One of them just presented a sealed door. Tonight, what Karahan Tepe is, why this entire civilization kept sealing its sacred places, and what a book removed from your Bible says was supposed to stay beneath these hills until the end of days. Karahan Tepe stands 35 kilometers from Göbekli Tepe. Same hills, same lost world, same impossible builders. Archaeologists call this landscape the Tepeler, the stone hills. A dozen mounds and more, most still unopened. And Karahan may be the strangest of them all. Surveys count over 250 great pillars in and around the site. But what makes this place different is what the builders did inside the hill. At the heart of the site, they didn't build a chamber, they carved one down into the living bedrock. A sunken room hollowed from solid stone. Rising from its floor, 11 great pillars, left standing as the rock was cut away around them. A forest of columns that were never assembled. They were revealed, carved free from the hill itself. And watching over them, cut into the chamber wall, is a face. A human head emerging from the stone. It has stared into that room, unblinking, for 12,000 years. The people of these hills were masters of stone, image, and space. And like their neighbors at Gobekli, when they were done with their sacred rooms, they filled them in. Which brings us to this season, and the room with the stone lid. Here is what the excavation reports actually say. Sources in the description, as always. During earlier digging, the team partially uncovered a rectangular building unlike anything ordinary. Inside it, benches along the walls, pillars, a carved basin, a channel for liquid. The lead archaeologist, Professor Necmi Karul, director of the entire Stone Hills project, says plainly that this building served a special purpose. Something organized happened in this room, something communal, something poured, and one section of it is closed, sealed beneath large flat slabs laid deliberately across its top. The original entrance is unusable. Whoever shut this room did not intend for it to be entered again. So this season, the team is removing the covering stones one by one and going in through the lid. What's underneath? The honest answer, the official answer, is nobody knows. But because the enclosure was deliberate, the archaeologists themselves raise the possibility that makes this a live mystery. Whatever was inside when it was sealed may still be sitting there. Objects, installations, left in place by the last person to see that room 12,000 years ago. And the question hanging over it is the same one that haunts every mound in these hills. Why do these people keep sealing things? Because this is now a pattern. Göbekli Tepe, an entire sanctuary entombed under hundreds of tons of carried earth. The excavator's own word for the reason is unexplained. Karahan Tepe, the great carved chamber, the 11 pillars, the serpent-necked watcher, filled in, packed with soil, hidden so well the hills kept the secret until living memory. And now, a room not just filled, but lidded, sealed under slabs, its door destroyed. Across this entire landscape, the same gesture repeats: build something extraordinary, clearly sacred, use it, then close it, cover it, seal it, and walk away. The greatest construction project of the ancient world was matched, stone for stone, by a closing project. Archaeologists offer careful language, ritual decommissioning, the respectful retirement of sacred space. Maybe that's the whole answer. But notice what that answer quietly admits. These people believed a sacred place could not simply be left. It had to be contained. You do not seal what you believe is empty. There is one ancient book that describes exactly this instinct and exactly this command. The book your Bible quotes, and your church removed. The Book of Enoch tells the story of the generations before the flood, in these very lands. Beings who came down, knowledge that arrived too early, the working of wonders in stone among the arts. The text counts like an indictment. Giants in the earth. And then the judgment. And listen to the language of that judgment. Azazel is not slain. He is bound, cast into a pit, covered with rough and jagged rocks, shut in darkness so that he may not see light. The works of that age are ordered destroyed, the earth cleansed, closed, like a wound. The grammar of the judgment is the grammar of containment. Even the knowledge itself is put under a lid. Enoch's own books, the text says, are to be preserved and hidden, sealed for a generation far in the future. And centuries later, in your own Bible, the prophet Daniel hears the same instruction: shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Sealed until they are not destroyed, they are closed, with a time attached. Now stand again in the stone hills, a civilization touched by knowledge out of joint with its age, rooms carved for rites we cannot name, watched by a serpent-necked face. And at the end, over and over, the same act. Fill it, cover it, seal it, walk away. Maybe it was reverence, or maybe the people of these hills were doing what the oldest books say heaven itself once did, putting a lid on something, until. Here is where we are, in plain words. A 12,000-year-old chamber, deliberately sealed, is being opened right now. The archaeologists doing it say they don't know what's inside, and that whatever was left there may be waiting intact. That is not speculation. That is the state of the dig this season. And an ancient book from these same lands says the works of the age before the flood were ordered sealed away, and that some seals carry a time. 2 facts, 1 question. What does a civilization know when its holiest act is closing a door? We will be watching this excavation. When the slabs come off and the reports are published, wonders or dust, this channel will read them with you, sources in hand. Subscribe so you're standing here when the lid opens. The books they buried, the rooms they sealed, unsealed, one at a time. This has been the Forbidden Testament.